So we've known that Donald Trump does not like history that is unpleasant to him. But this afternoon, we learned that Donald Trump doesn't like history that talks about how bad slavery is, the bad parts of American history, and more. And we also learned that Donald Trump seemingly wants museums to talk about the future. Doesn't make much sense, but let me just break down what you missed today. Donald Trump put out on Truth Social saying essentially that he is ordering his attorneys to review the Smithsonian and museums across the country for anti American rhetoric, anti American biases, essentially a vision of American history that only comports to Donald Trump's vision of American history, whitewashing what's in museums across the country. And let me tell you, this is why independent media is so important because I guarantee you, I'm going to hold him in check and make sure that this administration always provides, or that the truth about this administration always comes out, whether or not Trump wants it to. So please consider subscribing to support my work today. Now, here's the thing. Donald Trump said he attacked the nation's museums today as, quote, woke, specifically targeting the Smithsonian is out of control. Trump claimed museums focus only on how, quote, horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Let me read you this full Truth Social post because I think it's important for the public to read. Quote, the museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. We are not going to allow this to happen, and I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities where tremendous progress has been made. The country cannot be woke because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including in our museums. Now, as I mentioned, a couple issues. Number one, Donald Trump is upset that we teach people who go to museums about how bad slavery was. Number two, he wants museums which are meant to talk about American history to talk about the future that hasn't happened yet. Number three, he is whitewashing history, making sure that everything that happens in these museums, everything on display at these exhibitions comport with his vision and his view of not just what American history was, but rather what American history should be. And that right there is what's dangerous about this all. And that's why media that holds him accountable right now is so important. Now, meanwhile, in Texas, Texas State Representative Nicole Collier remains locked down on the Texas State House floor because Texas Republicans won't let her leave. They will only let her leave if she signed a permission slip that essentially requires her to be under 24/7 supervision by Texas state law enforcement. Only then can she leave the Texas state capitol. Well, she's refusing to sign that petition. She slept there overnight. She's remained there throughout the day, now 24 hours later, and she has now filed a habeas corpus lawsuit after Republicans confined her to the Capitol. She says that in this lawsuit, in this habeas petition, that she is subject to illegal confinement and therefore should be immediately released. This was filed in Travis County, Texas. And we'll see what happens. We'll see whether or not a judge in Travis County, Texas, allows this Texas Democrat to leave the Texas state capitol, or if this judge will allow Republicans to continue to keep her essentially being held hostage if she doesn't sign this permission slip agreeing to 24-hour police supervision. A Sheraton hotel in Alexandria, Louisiana, part of the Marriott chain, was reportedly used by ICE to detain immigrants despite a 2019 pledge from Marriott not to comply with such practices. The revelation, backed by phone evidence or phone tracking evidence and witness accounts, raises questions about whether Marriott has a contract with ICE and highlights broader concerns about the cooperation of the Trump administration with these hotels and the administration's use of hotels for deportations and the vulnerability of immigrant workers in the hospitality industry. Today, Donald Trump ruled out sending U.S. troops to Ukraine as part of potential security guarantees, instead suggesting possible U.S. air support. He reiterated opposition to Ukraine joining NATO while backing talks for a peace deal with Putin. The White House is reportedly planning for peace talks between Trump, Zelensky, and Putin to be held in Budapest. Now, Caroline Leavitt declined to confirm those details. Budapest is actually a natural location for these talks because Vladimir Putin is so sanctioned that if he goes to any European country, he would likely face arrest, given his outstanding International Criminal Court arrest warrant. French President Emmanuel Macron, after the White House meeting yesterday, says that he does not believe Vladimir Putin is very willing to get peace, stressing once again that Russia is the aggressor here and that more sanctions would follow for the Russian government if talks failed. Today, the Department of Justice launched a criminal investigation into Washington, D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department over allegedly manipulated crime data, following reports that Commander Michael Pulliam was placed on leave in May. The probe is now expected to extend beyond Pulliam to other officials, amid Trump's claim that there is worsening crime, despite the fact that violent crime in the city is at a 30-year low right now. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said there is no timeline for how long the National Guard will remain mobilized in D.C. She also went on to say that Trump's plan to end mail-in ballots and voting machines is a, quote, top priority, especially heading into even elections this November. And we know that the Trump attorneys are actually actively drafting an executive order to end mail-in balloting. And speaking about elections this November, California Republican lawmakers have filed an emergency petition with the state's Supreme Court to block Governor Gavin Newsom's fast-tracked redistricting push, arguing that Democrats are violating the state's constitution's 30-day review rule by rushing bills through in just a matter of days. I spoke with Governor Newsom today, who said that he plans and his administration will be fighting back strongly. The American Academy of Pediatrics updated its immunization schedule to recommend COVID-19 vaccines for children 6 to 23 months, diverging from the Trump administration health agency guidance. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem would be, quote, one of the first investigated if Democrats take back the House of Representatives. Donald Trump expanded his 50% steel and aluminum tariffs today to cover 407 additional product categories, including auto parts, fire extinguishers, machinery, specialty chemicals, plastics, and more. And finally, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said that the United States will seek an equity stake in Intel in exchange for funds already committed under the Biden-era CHIPS program. That's all the news right now, folks. If you want to support my work, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe today. Spread the word, and I will be back bright and early in the morning with another morning rundown for you all, so stay tuned. Hey folks, Aaron Parnas here. Thank you so much for watching The Parnas Perspective. Please consider subscribing to support our work as we grow this independent news media entity into something that rivals mainstream every single day. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.